Today is Sunday, March 1st, 2026, and today is National Dadgum That's Good Day, which feels less like a holiday and more like someone finally getting credit for doing something right. Welcome to This Day in History from, wait, that's random. I'm your host, C.L. Burns. On this day in 1781, the Articles of Confederation officially went into effect, creating the first national government of the United States. After declaring independence from Britain, the former colonies faced a problem. They were united in purpose, but not yet united in structure. The Articles created a loose federation, a national Congress made up of representatives from each state. But the design was intentionally cautious. The central government had no power to tax directly, no executive branch to enforce decisions, no national court system to interpret laws. It could request cooperation, but it couldn't compel it. The structure reflected a fear of centralized authority, a reaction to the monarchy they had just escaped. It worked well enough to win a war, but it struggled to run a country. The framework revealed something important. Freedom from control is not the same as coordination. Which brings us to another moment when the government made a deliberate structural choice. This time, to protect something instead of manage people. On March 1st, 1872, Yellowstone became the first national park in the world. Before this, land was primarily valued for what could be extracted from it: timber, minerals, farmland. Yellowstone was different. The government designated over 2 million acres not for development, but for preservation. This wasn't because the land lacked value. It was because its value wasn't economic. Yellowstone contained geysers, hot springs, and geological features unlike anything else widely known at the time. Features like Old Faithful operate because groundwater seeps deep underground, where it encounters hot rock heated by volcanic activity. The water becomes pressurized steam. Eventually, pressure forces it upward through narrow channels. The eruption releases pressure. The cycle begins again. Yellowstone wasn't static, it was active. And the decision to protect it acknowledged something subtle: that some systems are valuable precisely because they are left alone. Which brings us to a moment when order gave way to uncertainty. In 1932, Charles Lindbergh Jr., the 20-month-old son of aviator Charles Lindbergh, was kidnapped from his home. Lindbergh had become a global figure after completing the first solo nonstop flight across the Atlantic. His fame made him visible. His family made him vulnerable. The kidnapping triggered one of the largest investigations in American history. At the time, law enforcement operated primarily at local levels. Coordination across jurisdictions was limited. But this case forced collaboration. Investigators tracked ransom notes, analyzed handwriting, recorded serial numbers on ransom bills. The case helped accelerate the development of coordinated investigative techniques and strengthen federal law enforcement authority in kidnapping cases. It revealed something difficult but necessary: that systems evolve in response to crisis, and sometimes tragedy becomes the catalyst for structure. Which brings us to someone born on this day who understood structure in a different way. Glenn Miller was born on March 1st, 1904. Miller's music was defined by clarity and precision. His arrangements emphasized clean melodic lines, careful, balanced instrumentation, predictable rhythm. He didn't invent swing music, he refined it. He understood that structure didn't limit expression, it made it possible. From governments to national parks to criminal investigations to music, March 1st reminds us that systems shape outcomes. Some are designed intentionally. Some emerge from necessity. But all of them reflect the same instinct: to create order in an uncertain world. Anyway, those are the things we ended up exploring today. Stop by tomorrow and we'll see what the day decides to reveal. If you want to know more about me or the work I do, you can find everything at waitthat'srandom.com. I'm C.L. Burns, and I appreciate you stopping by.